There were a lot of smiling faces around the Goog last January when captain and defensive lineman Sheldon Day decided to return for his senior season and ultimately his second year as a Notre Dame captain. The leader of the Notre Dame defensive line has consistently excelled this season, drawing frequent public praise from head coach Brian Kelly. Day leads the team in quarterback hurries with 13, is eighth on the team in tackles with 41, while also contributing 4 sacks and 2 pass breakups. Off the field, he is about to get his degree in information technologies management from the Mendoza College of Business. He can also take credit for coming up with a nickname for freshman defensive lineman Jerry Tillery that has stuck to Jerry like glue, Terry Gillery. Joe and Jack are happy to welcome Sheldon Day to the interview table today.
Sheldon, welcome. Great to have you. I clearly didn't write that introduction because there was no mention of Indianapolis in it, right?
Yeah.
How did this happen?
I don't know. Maybe we need to get on Jack about that.
Yeah, we do, man. The hometown connection.
I can't believe, by the way, in your introduction, you have one of your highlights is creating Terry Gillery. I can't believe that, by the way.
I feel like I made a nice little phenomenon of Jerry. He's definitely went with it though. That's crazy. That's the crazy thing about it. Now. If you could just call him Terry and he'll give you the.
He was so. Yeah.
It's not my name.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Do you get it?
Well, you're sporting the Showtime shirt today, and certainly you have been a star of the Showtime series. It's been great to see you and the role you play on the team in that series. Do you get a lot of commentary on it?
I would definitely say I do. Fans comment on my Instagram page, my Twitter page, and things like that. But the person who gets the most comments is my mom. They're always like, "Oh, your mom's amazing, yada yada this, yada yada that." And now they're asking for her autograph. We're sitting at the dinner table one night. Where were we? I think we were at like Applebee's or something. And somebody walked up to the table with a ball and stuff like that. And I'm thinking they're gonna ask for my autograph. Give the ball to my mom. Miss Day, can I have your autograph? And she lost it. Ever since then, she's a superstar. It's crazy.
She's always been sort of a shy, shrinking, violent, behind-the-scenes person. So this is just another level of exposure for her.
That's true. So the crazy thing is, she says she's shy, but every time a camera comes around, she's just ready for the action. So it's definitely a good thing for her.
Another thing that happened, I guess, it's at Stanford. She was hanging out with my mother. I think it was on Friday night, and like they were walking around somewhere, and people would just come up to her and have her say, "That's my baby."
Yes, so, that's her go-to. That's her little quote where everybody knows her by. So
when did that start?
Oh man, I want to say sophomore year in high school or sometime in high school. I made a tackle, and that's the first thing that came out of her mouth, and ever since then it's been just running with it. And I scored my sophomore year on an interception. I know.
Wait, what?
So look, it's a long story, and we'll talk about that after the story. So she's running down on the bleachers with me while I'm running into the end zone. That's my baby. So ever since then, she's been going with it.
I don't even know what to say.
I remember the first time I heard it. It may have been the spring game.
Yeah.
The place was pretty quiet, and you had done something, and it was just this incredibly strong. I said, "Hey, who's that?"
Yeah, and that's when you guys were in trouble. You knew you were in for a long 4 years.
She has been an unbelievable asset to this program. We're going to miss her as much as we're going to miss you. She is she's a dear friend of the program and everybody in it. The introduction reflected, an important part of your bio, and that was the decision to come back. Two-time captain, pretty rare at Notre Dame to be able to achieve that. Reflect a little bit for us on what this has been like for you.
It's been a journey. I could definitely say that. Having guys like Joe in the locker room and just making me feel so comfortable about coming back, and just our brotherhood that we've grown over the years, it was a no-brainer decision pretty much. And it's been a ride, especially doing all the things we've done, the sprints, the 350s, the Longos beaches, just being together, going through those things. It was definitely a great experience. And then when we got to camp, it was time to go. And just seeing the D-line just kind of transform into the dominating guys they are now, it's just been a blessing to watch those type of things happen.
Sheldon, one thing that I kind of always say to, whenever somebody asks me about you and your leadership, it's that you own that defensive line room. Mm-hmm. Like, how did that, you were a junior captain. I know that, so it started early, but how did you really assume control of really a room that has been historically hard to control in the defensive line?
Hey.
No, I mean, it's true.
It's true. I've been in those rooms where it's kind of been like a coach makes a comment, we laugh and we just don't take it serious and things like that. But it's a time where you have to kind of lock in and take things serious. And I feel like last year I tried to do that, but I couldn't really get a good control over it because I was a junior and I had people over me. But just this year I felt like it was my room. I finally felt like I was in control of everything and everybody in that room. And it was kind of a sit-down situation where I had to tell them, this season relies on us and how we play, because if we get blown back or we don't have a dominating performance, we could lose a lot of games. So it was kind of a realization for me to make sure that I took over that room.
So understand from like a seniority aspect of how that happens, but really in practice, what exactly did you do? Maybe even differently from last year as a junior, where where you said you didn't feel as good about it, and this year, obviously I can see the difference. What exactly did you do differently?
I would definitely say my approach, just the way I practice. I come to practice every day, a great positive mindset and ready to get better in any way I can. So just them watching me practice on the field and just making corrections to them, trying to make sure that they know all the plays and they're doing everything the right way. I would definitely say I led from the front for this year pretty much and made sure that everybody was on top of everything, and we paid attention to the details this year.
One of the differences in the room this year also was the person in the front of the room.
Yeah.
Coach Gilmore, tell us a little bit about playing for him.
Big Mo, man. He's a great guy. He always makes the room just light up pretty much. He's a carefree type of guy who he wants us to learn and play fast and have fun, just enjoying the process. So he's definitely showed us a lot of great things, and I know that next year they're going to improve even more because he's such a good coach.
Last regular season game, we'll chat about that in a minute, and a really good bowl game in front of us, but you now have the next step in front of you also. Tell us what the next several months are going to look like for you once we get past the bowl game.
It's going to be a journey for me, trying to pursue my career in the NFL and just going to train and go to the Combine, Senior Bowl, all these things that just kind of reflect of who I am as a person, and just the way Notre Dame has helped me kind of get to those steps and make a good decision on where I go train and kind of process of elimination and things like that. It's going to be a great little four months for me. So I think I start training sometime in January, and the Senior Bowl is January 18th. So somewhere around there it's going to be a quick 4 months for me.
And obviously you've got all these amazing things in your future. How are you staying focused for this last month? We have a big game coming up. Obviously, I'm concerned about how you're staying focused, Sheldon. There's one more game, Sheldon.
Yeah, true.
You guys get exciting 4 months, but we got one more.
Yeah. Well, just leaning on those guys in the locker room, just knowing that I have one more game with these guys. It's a sad moment for me, so I'm more focused on this 1 month I have left to trying to enjoy the experience and make sure I get memories that's going to last a lifetime. So it's not really I'm worried about all that stuff in the future. I'm really focused on right here, right now, because my brother's like you, Joe. Just can't. Don't want to see that. You see that beautiful smile?
Hey.
I don't want to see crying tears out of that face again. Again.
It's been it really has been a great season, as Coach Kelly said in his post-game press conference. You could make an argument 2 plays away from being exactly where we wanted to be in terms of undefeated and competing for the national championship. What are your reflections on this year as you look back on it from this point?
Wet, cold game, Clemson. That's one game I'll never forget. Pouring down, can't see the signals, Joe's yelling at us, things like that. And then definitely our high moments, like senior night, the handshake with my mom, things like that. And just our everyday practice life, just watching this guy go to work every day, and just my teammates just try to get better each and every day, and just the Wednesday night foolery that the D-line had and the Monday night Scotties that we always did, just the brotherhood that we grew this year for sure.
Over the last 4 years, obviously we've been to a lot of different places. We've been to Ireland.
Yeah.
We've played in a lot of big games. National championship game. What's maybe your favorite memory other than the stuff we do off the field? Maybe favorite on-field memory for you over the last few years, or a couple favorites if you need to.
Oh man, favorite memories. Ooh, I got a lot of them, Joe. I would definitely say praying on the goal line stand at Stanford my freshman year. It was a lot of praying going on then. Sophomore year, the Big House. Oh man, that was a really good experience for me. I felt like I played one of my best games as a sophomore. Then it was yelling loud. It was a hostile environment. Even though we lost the game, I just felt like that experience and going through something like that just prepared me for the rest of my career. Just being ready for the big games, pretty much. And I don't know, this whole year. I don't know, Joe. It's just so many good memories and things like that. And just running out that tunnel against Texas, knowing that it's my first time running out the tunnel, and it's crazy. So I would definitely say that's one of the memories I always remember.
That was a hard day, that the senior day, though, right? Going through everything and thinking about the last time. This is a special place.
It is very true. You know, the people here, the coaches, people like Jack, you know, always, you know, giving us a hard time about the Under Armour, but, you know, just guys like him, just so caring and things like that. It's definitely been a great 4 years.
Give us a scouting report on the guys you leave behind here. The future.
Oh, dear.
The future. Talk a little bit about the guys who'll be returning to the D-line next year.
So we got guys like Jerron Jones, 6'5", 315.
315?
We're being nice today. So we got guys like Jerron, you know, big guy up front, very physical, plays with great pad level and things like that. But he's starting to build his leadership qualities right now, and I can see that he's trying to come back from an injury and kind of learn his role and things like that. So I definitely say this year I'll kind of help him step back like it did when I got hurt last year, to kind of absorb everything and make sure that he does everything right for his 5th year. And then we got guys like Isaac Rochelle, a young player starting to develop. Each and every game, I felt like he got better and better. And I think he's third on the team on tackles or something crazy like that for a D-lineman.
Yeah, no, he's doing really well.
Yeah, and then we got guys like Andrew Trombetti and Terry Gillery, and they're just coming along and just keep performing, and they're starting to learn the playbook and start to understand, if the running back's here, it's a pass, or if the running back's too deep, it's a run. So they're starting to understand the game of football, which is kind of excelling their process.
Tell us about maybe one freshman or sophomore that, you know, maybe the people at home don't know about as well. You know, obviously everybody knows Terry.
Yeah.
But somebody that they might not know that, you know, could be interesting to follow for them.
I would definitely go Jay Hayes out of Brooklyn, New York. Great guy. He's definitely one of those guys that's going to work his hardest on everything he does. So he's definitely kind of performed at a high level this year. He's just trying to understand the college football scheme and things like that. And then Jonathan Bonner, he came in for me. Oh my gosh, he does some crazy things with his body that I'm like, why can't I do that?
Ridiculous thing.
It's so
doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. So just look out for those two guys, because they're gonna have a special career here for sure.
Well, Sheldon, one of the people I have most enjoyed working with during my time here, you have been absolutely a leader from the day you stepped on campus, a positive force. You've made our football program much better. The good news is I know you'll stay connected to Notre Dame. I know we'll have the opportunity to see you, and I know I'm going to stay connected to your family because they're such great people.
Yeah.
So thanks for all you've done for Notre Dame. Thanks for being with us today, and I look forward to one more journey, one more bowl trip with you, man.
Appreciate that. Thanks, Jack.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sheldon.